Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Marisa.
I'm that other person.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. As a reminder, this podcast is rated T for teen for strong language and mature themes.
If you don't like that, tough titties. I mean, head on over to her very own podcast, Unlocked, where sometimes I hear they talk to people about things.
And stuff.
Yeah.
It has been said.
It has
Probably.
been said.
We think. So,
once again, I've listened to one episode.
So in that episode, they talked to a person about
Two
things.
Two people. Both Hardy Boys.
Both Hardy Boys. For some reason, I thought you would listen to the one with Ned. Scott McCarty. No, instead you listened to the one with Jonah von Sprecken. Really funny that we started talking about that. What are we going to talk about today, sister?
Today, we are going to talk about the best and the worst of the voice acting in Nancy Drew.
Why did you have to do that voice?
I don't know. It happened like halfway through and I just kind of kept going with it. This is also how I answer the phone like all day. I half get into some of these and I'm like, thank you for calling Western facing whatever fuck. There are some weird names that I have to say. Anyway.
See, I've been calling parents, so my voice raises half an octave when I do it.
Hi,
which is great.
Risa.
Hi, this is Risa from Discovery Link. I was just calling to check in to see how so-and-so is doing with the remote learning. We at Discovery Link are trying to offer our support, so please let me know if you need anything at this phone number. Or please call my fucking supervisor. Do not call me back.
Don't call me.
Do not call me. So,
voice acting. We're talking about voice
acting. Yeah. So we're going to start with the best. So the best voice acting. And then we're going to go to the worst voice acting. Because we know that that's what you guys are here for.
That everybody loves us being salty, salty bitches.
It's very true. So we have 4 games that we think are the best voice acting of the games.
Yeah.
And our first one is actually The Shattered Medallion. I can't think of a single voice actor in that game that I don't like.
No.
I like all of them because I love Sunny. I love Kiri's voice actress. I fucking love her. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Patrick?
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of their voices are really good at portraying their personality.
Honestly, that game is so well directed as far as voice acting goes. Because it's not just the main cast, there's also a bunch of little tiny vignettes that happen that are just like, or the little voice things you get to listen to from each team member that we don't actually get to see. We get to listen to, like, fantastic. Their stories.
Okay,
and
roll take. This is gonna be... If I betrayed. Oh, they threw me under the... I can't believe they threw me under the bus. Okay,
right.
take
Slate.
Betrayal. Yeah, I had to throw him under the bus. I love that guy.
So I love him. I love the old guy who starts out like really
guy.
happy and then he's immediately dejected. He's just, well...
I love the... Yes, I just quit being a personal chef so I could be on this. I was eliminated in the first round. Does anyone need a personal chef?
It's so good. And honestly, that one is one of my... Like, Lonnie as the narrator was just beautiful. Or the announcer, rather.
Yeah.
Just amazing. Well... A woman, a few words, or whatever the fuck she said. She's just so sassy.
She is, and so mean to Bess.
So mean to Bess.
That. But I just, every single voice in that game just portrays their personality. And they're at the Bess and George voice actors that I like.
Yes, I love them.
The ones in the beginning, like, they're so weird.
They're just slightly off. They're just slightly off.
They're just like discount Bess and George.
Yeah.
Like, specifically the ones in Shadow Ranch just kill me every time because they don't sound right.
They're so wrong. They're so miscast.
But yeah, it's Shattered Medallion is like the best game for voice acting in my opinion. It may not make
much sense as far as the game goes, but it is just very well voice acted. There's not a voice I hate.
It really is. Mm-mm. It's awesome. The next one is Sea of Darkness, which again, I love all of their voices. Alex's voice is so cute and fun. Oh my
gosh, I love Alex.
And I love Soren so much.
I love Soren. I am always put off by the fact that he's not Billy Eichner, but it's fine. I'll just keep recasting people as I go. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I think he's fantastic. And
yes,
Gunnar's voice actor, which is the same as Alexi's, so
I love him.
Rest in peace. He was such a good voice actor.
Hate it. I
know, but I love, like, his voice is what makes Gunnar so, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Sympathetic?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Sympathetic. I'm like, not relatable.
There's
I'm not relating to him.
There's a softness to his gruff voice that just is like, oh.
It's so cute because you can hear, like, the affection in his voice when he's calling you Fisker and stuff like that. It's so cute.
It is.
I absolutely love it. I also love Dagny's voice actress.
Yes. Fantastic.
She's so good. I just love everything about it. Mm-hmm. As you guys know, Sea of Darkness is not, like, even in my top 10 of games.
No.
But I cannot deny that the voice acting is fantastic. The sound direction is fantastic in that game.
So, sound, voice, the
music.
And like, I guess on an audio level in general, they're great. And visually, everything's spectacular. It's just, the game doesn't make much sense. It's fine. It's fine. The
voice of Dagny also did the voice of Ryan in Deadly Device. Which
that
totally
makes so much sense. I didn't know that, but I don't know why I didn't think that.
Yeah, fantastic. I love her. I love all the characters she does.
And honestly, the voice of Lisbeth is
Elizabeth.
Yes, she's so. I love it, and I love.
You can just hear the personality in her voice. She has that. I am mad at him.
Remember when her interactive voices were, like, emphatic?
Emotive?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. It was, like, Sea of Darkness was a good game.
It really was.
Like, technically speaking. It was, yeah. So the next one is Ghost of Thornton Hall.
Yes.
So, the accents? Not the best. But their characters are so, like, specifically Clara, I'm going to point out. She has such a good, like, you get her personality from her voice.
Mm-hmm. That's a seasoned voice actress there.
Right? It's just fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And she gets a real nice, worn quality to her voice, and it's like, this is a woman who's barked orders, but,
exactly.
Know when to speak soft.
Everything is very sharp that she does, and very harsh, and it's so good. And then Harper has the, like, with the lilting voice she does such a good, her accent is atrocious.
It is absolutely bad, but I love it.
But it is so fun. Like, her actual voice acting is really good. Like, God, just her line about and then one day I was older than my older sister and older still today. I hear her say that, and it just breaks my heart.
Yeah. It every time. And
every fucking time.
Every time.
Just breaks my fucking heart.
I also, honestly, Colton, For as they make him sort of try to be as one-dimensional as possible, like, towards the beginning, so that you're like, oh, well, I know who this guy is. But then, like, he breaks down his walls and gets, like, real raw with you.
When he tells you the story about the night that Charlotte died, that's, like, get lost in that moment.
Yeah.
Because of how he tells it. I just fucking love it.
Mm-hmm.
And Wade's voice actor?
Oh my god.
Fantastic.
Oh.
I think the only one in that entire game that doesn't, like, make me go, oh, they're amazing, is Addison. But that's because she's just, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Removed. But she's still better than half the voice actors in Midnight in Salem.
Yeah. And at least, like, you know, you could, like, you don't know how she and Jessalyn have somehow grown up together, because they don't sound like they've because when you're friends with people, you start to, like, take on their inflections, and that's why, like, Reese and I got really good at, like, imitating our friends, because we were all together all the time.
Also, because we're very good at mimicking things.
That too.
But we have echolalia.
Echolalia.
Exactly.
But she at least sounded like she knew what was happening, you know?
Yeah, she sounded like she had context for her lines.
Yeah.
Fucking, the line of hers I love the most is, she used to call her mom Chairman Mom.
It's just
the writing in that game, I think that helps.
Jokes in that game really
in the three games that we've already talked about, I think the writing of the dialogue really helps with the voice acting.
For sure.
Because if you're given something that is natural speech, it's so much easier to voice act.
If it's not like all weird, stilted bull crap, you're like, yeah, I can do these lines.
Yeah. So the last one of our best tier is the Captive Curse.
This was my input, really.
We would like to hear your reasoning.
Hear me out. I'm not saying the accents are good, because the accents are horrifying. Just so we're clear. But put those aside, they are so well voiced, and then they're just endearing as shit. I love all of them. I love bad guy Tits McGee. I love little peevish
Lucas.
fucking Lucas. I love all of them.
He is the best voice in that game.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
It is fantastic. I love his little voice.
Renata, honestly, just
very good.
I get so taken in. That actress just does wonders with it.
It's like, even though the accents are just fucking awful, because we are admitting their accents are fucking bad.
Bad.
But all of their voice acting, it portrays the emotions that it needs to portray. Mm-hmm. They, even through bad accents, they get across their personalities and the emotions of the scene, and that's what you need.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Anya, specifically, does such a good job of getting her personality into it. And, so Nancy! Right? It's like that. She's just, like, putting that, I'm trying to be your friend so much. We're friends, right? We're friends. Which is, like, so funny to me, because we know that Anya's, like, she's Gen X. She's trying to connect to millennial Nancy, because at that time, Nancy fell into the millennial area. Mm-hmm. Midnight in Salem, I guess she's a Gen Z.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
I guess. Who even knows what's happening?
But she definitely is, like, reminds me of coworkers I had.
Yeah.
Who would try to relate to me. And I'm like, thanks, Janie. Thanks.
Oof. Like, okay. Okay, honey.
But yeah, so the Captive Curse is fantastic. Yeah. I love Carl as well.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, obviously honestly, there's the mainstays of the Hardys and Ned as well.
We get Joe, Frank, and Ned in that game. And they are, like, the best voice actors.
They're phenomenal.
Honestly, Scott Carty is the best voice actor in the games.
Yep.
He is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for the top games. Right? That's all we can offer you up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest here, because, like, okay, you know I love me top fives. And we have a 5 worst, and then some, really. But, and I wanted to come up with 5 good ones, but almost every other game that we did not list so far has at least one voice that I fucking hate. And it's always like that weird nasally character like Dr. Kim or Laurie Gerard or Izzy Romano, or they have like terrible... Romero. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Whatever. Izzy.
Same thing.
Fucking 40-year-old teenager. And, or they've got
she just is on Saved by the Bell. It's fine.
But it's just they're always bad. The closest that comes to being good is Tomb. And even then, like...
It's Abdullah that ruins it.
It really is Abdullah. It's the angry man in particular.
Because I love John. Mm-hmm. I actually, like, Lily as a character annoys me, but her voice actress is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love Jamila more than anything else.
Oh my gosh, yes. Plus, we get some Hotchkiss in there.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Hotchkiss, but her voice is annoying as fuck. But John, I love John's voice.
Yeah.
He's great. But
and then there's
just Abdullah
Dylan,
really just fucking... Well, Dylan is that's just the voice actor's actual voice. Like, at least they, for once, got an actual English person to do an English accent. I'm very proud of them.
Good job. You guys finally did it. You finally found an English person.
You did. You found an English person.
Now do what British media does and just use that one person over and over and over again.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's the best.
Yeah.
Our honorable mention for best was Tomb of the Lost Queen.
Yes.
But it doesn't quite rank.
Doesn't quite get there.
So, for the part you guys are all waiting for, the worst. I'm going to start with Message in a Haunted Mansion, because that is so fucking awful. Oh my god. Everyone in that game, except for Charlie, is just awful.
I'm going to be real here. It sounds like they didn't want to be there. Like, her interactive was really hard up for cash at that point because they'd sunk their money in the first couple of games. And so they're like, okay, we've got to really sell this one. What are we going to do? So they, like, abducted some voice actors and just, like, stuck them in a room for a while and made them record.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, honestly.
Everyone is under duress in this game.
It sounds awful. None of them sound like they want to be there. They sound like they were given like 5 minutes to record all of their lines. Yes. Everyone is horrible in that, but Charlie. And that is because that voice It's Scott
actor,
Carty.
because Scott Carty just really took to Stockholm Syndrome, and so he was like...
And stayed with them.
Well, I'm happy to be here. That, or he was, like, homeless at the time, so he was just like, okay, great.
Much like Charlie.
Guess this is what I'm doing now.
Well, I feel like he's one of the best voice actors in the entire series.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I always just love the way he says things.
Even
It's comforting. Maybe it's just because Message in a Haunted Mansion was our first game.
Maybe.
That we're like... No, his voice sounds like home.
That is Ned. That is our Ned.
It is.
But
yeah, Message in a Haunted Mansion. God, Rose is the worst of the worst in that game.
Well, you know what? At least she has more charisma than what's his name? Lewis Chandler.
Yeah.
Loose chandelier.
Yeah. Yep. So, the next on our worst games is Secret of the Scarlet Hand.
Who knows?
Who knows? I don't remember. They're from
have
Oaxaca.
To ask Henrik about that.
Oh my god. I hate... And we get Prudence in that game.
Oh my god.
Guys, I hate Prudence's voice acting so much. So much.
I hate it to the point of hilarity. I'm gonna be, like, honest. There's something about it that just makes me laugh every time. Not because it's funny, but because I hate it.
Wait. I feel like the voice actress for the woman at the Chaco Canyon Cultural Center is the same voice actress as the phone Hannah's friend Emily in Message in a Haunted Mansion. My brain is making them sound the same.
I'm having a hard time hearing. I can definitely hear Emily, but I can't hear.
Can't hear the lady at Chaco Canyon.
No.
Okay, side note. My physical therapist I was seeing for a while, she had a poster up in her office from Chaco Canyon Cultural Center. And I kept wanting to take a picture of it.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Because I was just like, every single time, I was just like, oh my god. Okay, but the only voice acting in Secret of the Scarlet Hand I don't hate completely is Alejandro.
I was gonna say. Like, yeah, he's pretty good. Like, I don't like a lot of how they... a lot of his lines. He has some interesting clunky dialogues that kind of like
does.
It's obvious that the voice actor was having a hard time getting through it. Like, you can see when they're stuck in the mud of their own lines. But like, otherwise he does a pretty good job with what he's given.
He does.
Everybody else
given some really shitty lines.
Horribly.
Yeah. Poppy Dada's voice is okay. It's just not great, though.
It's just there.
I do like the voice actor for the guy at Silvio's curatorium or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
What about Nurse
Whoop-de-doo, it's Nancy Drew. Oh, Nurse Bluefoot?
Bluefoot, yeah. That's it.
Nurse Bluefoot is awful. Just terrible.
Yeah.
So, the next one on our list is the one everyone in chat has been screaming for. Midnight in Salem. I don't think it's the absolute worst.
I think it's really funny that we spent about half of our good ones shitting on Mid. Like, immediately drawing comparisons.
So, Midnight in Salem, the reason it's not, like, the absolute worst, right, is because it does still have the Hardy Boys, it has the same Carson, it has the...
Deirdre.
It has Ned. All of those people are really good.
Mm-hmm.
And we appreciate them. However, I'm going to preface this with saying I love the voice for May. May, I think, does a good job of getting across the personality.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't sound stilted when she does it.
Yeah.
However, everyone else in that game is so bad. And I'm going to say I don't like the new voice of Nancy at all.
No.
I'm sorry, guys. I think, like, I don't like Lonnie's voice for Nancy.
No.
But Brittany Cox's voice for Nancy is even worse, in my opinion, because it's so bland.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but the one line that has been killing me in my recent playthrough. Oh, look, a map of Salem.
That's the one we're going with. That's Salem. The take that's going in the game.
It's like, did they not give her any voice direction?
Salem.
Like L-U-M at the end. Oh, everything she says sounds like they took the first take. Like, I know that this might just be direction.
I was explaining to Adam earlier. I was like, she seemingly at random over and then under enunciates or emphasizes like
Salem. But the thing is it reminds me, Midnight in Salem, because they have some, like, decent, like, well-known voice actors. Like, the voice actress for Tegan does a voice in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, she does Breath of the Wild. She does a voice in Ruby. She does a voice in, what was it? I found it, and I was so excited. Oh, yeah, she does, the Ymir in Attack on Titan in the, dubbed version. I got there.
Yeah, you got there. But, I think that the problem with Midnight in Salem is that the direction was just terrible.
Yeah.
And it seems like the people who already had characters that they had intonations for, right? Mm-hmm. All of these people who have played these characters for decades, some of them.
Yeah.
Right? With, like, Like, Scott Carty has been there for 2 decades almost.
He's been there since basically the beginning.
They know their character. Mm-hmm. They've done it in several games before. It's like, they know. So they don't need as much direction. Whereas all these people who had new characters, the fact that they were met with, like, no direction, Brittany Cox, her performance makes me think of Oblivion. Where they literally gave them all their lines in alphabetical order to read. So they had no context. That's what her delivery gives me.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it doesn't seem like she's actually having any kind of conversation with people. She's just saying lines. And it is so frustrating. I find myself saying all of her lines after her to show what a normal person would say. Oh, a map of Salem.
Okay, all right, I figured it out. They just had them sitting in their booths, and when they came up with a line that was going into the game, they fed it to the actors, and then it was just like a weird sort of assembly line.
It's just... And yeah, Brittany Cox does do a voice for Fire Emblem, but apparently the Fire Emblem fandom doesn't like her. Apparently they really don't like her. So I am kind of thinking she just isn't very good. But everyone else... I'm kind of giving the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. I think Alicia's voice actress isn't terrible. I just hate the character.
Yeah. It's same with
Judge Danforth.
Yeah, Judge Danforth is okay. I mean, he's it's kind of a pretty blah voice, pretty generic white guy.
Olivia, Jason, and Tegan are the worst.
Yeah. Olivia is particularly upsetting because it feels like they changed the character because they didn't give her any, they gave her her basic lines and she didn't know what the character was. So she performed it one way. And so they went, oh, well, that's apparently how the character goes. And they continue to write the rest of the lines and give them to her because they definitely did this in multiple sittings, in multiple stupid sittings, which were unconnected. Yeah. Okay. I think I just petered out there. Sorry.
Okay. So Midnight Salem, not great. That is the official Krolmeister sisters position. Midnight Salem. Not good.
Good job.
Just in general, but specifically about the voice acting. My next one is Treasure in a Royal Tower. Because first of all, library. Why does Dexter say it library?
He is a grown-ass fucking man.
He's a grown-ass man who says library. I'm sorry. But... mostly, it has fucking Jacques, who is... What is that accent? What is it? Honestly, I would love to know. It's not French.
Good. It's not good.
It's not good. But God. And then, Lisa. Her voice is so bad.
My God.
I never want to talk to her. I will avoid the entire game just so I don't, I will avoid her unless I have to speak to her. I cannot progress the game without talking to her. I will just not talk to her.
Which I think, sidebar, I think is funny because Risa thought that she broke the game that she played it wrong the first time, that Lisa stopped talking to her. She was like, I made her angry, now we're not friends, and so she won't talk to me anymore.
Yep.
But no, and apparently, that I guess this kind of goes with your not liking Professor Hotchkiss.
I don't. I honestly, her voice bugs the shit out of me.
I do hate listening to someone talk so much about Marie Antoinette. I will be honest.
There is also that. Fuck the French.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm dating an Englishman. I have to say that. But yeah, Treasure Royal Tower. You're not.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. However, the the absolute worst voice acting in the entire series goes to Stay Tuned for Danger.
Oh my god.
Because I'm just gonna start it off with that fucking Indian cabbie.
Oh my god.
It is so bad. It is so racist.
It's so racist.
It is just so fucking racist. Every single time if I play that game, I am caught unawares by how racist it is.
Like, I feel like my brain tries to make it better, so it goes to the least offensive, most offensive thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm again floored.
It's worse than Apu.
It is.
It is.
And I think that is where my brain immediately goes. My brain goes, nope,
Honestly,
I'll just stick Apu in there.
Pretty much. It's worse.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And then the other cabbies are not good either. At least they're not racist. Where can I take you today, miss? Yeah, where can I take you?
Yeah, where do you want to go, lady?
Or whatever it is she says. And then so everyone else in the entire game they're bad. They're just entrez-vous. Exactly.
I'm glad we both went there.
He's so bad. And then everything Dwayne says is like, I don't know what's going on. Did you get the script?
You're being, like, weirdly arch, and, like, I don't know, man.
It's like, yeah, like teenage us knew he was the one who did it because of his fucking voice more than anything else. It's like, he's obviously the bad guy.
I'll never betray you, that sort of thing.
It's like, what? And then there's Millie. Ooh, I'm an old lady. Ooh.
I took my voice acting lessons from Tess McNeil.
It's so bad. And then there's Ralph, which I have an entire thing about.
McNeil, by the way.
Ralph's voice is so bad.
Oh my god.
He has like 3 lines in the entire
and they are also
game.
The most repeated lines in the entire game.
Over and over again. Sign right there, this Miss Drew.
Thank you, Miss Drew.
Thank you, Miss Drew. It's like... However, you know, the good thing about Ralph, you know, Guardino, security guard.
He was born for this.
Is that I take his voice for any security guard. If you have ever played a role-playing game that I have been the games master for, you have heard Ralph. Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss Drew. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So those are our absolute worst. Yeah. Stay Tuned for Danger is just the worst.
It is.
Like,
it's bad. It's bad.
It's super bad and racist. We have 3 honorable mentions for bad, though.
Yes.
Just like we had 1 for good. But I'm going to say that Shadow at the Water's Edge is an honorable mention for bad. Because while I think that they get their personalities across, and they don't do a bad job of, like, actually acting, the Rentaro, Yumi, and Takai are all... The voices are so racist, guys.
Yeah.
The voices are really racist. And that kind of puts it real shitty down there. Because, like, Yumi and Rentaro specifically, they, like, do the L's for R's thing, but they don't do it properly.
They don't do it right,
because
yeah.
It's the ere, but they do L. It's like, you guys don't even know the linguistic, like, the phonemes that exist in Japanese.
Like, this feels like a 90s movie.
It's really bad. And then Takai, like, while the voice, like, is a little racist, it's like more accurate than Rentaro and Yumi.
But the problem is the delivery.
Yes, the actual acting is just so bad.
I've got to admit, I like how it felt kind of like you were drawing out, describing it the exact same way that Takai draws out every fucking sentence that she says in the entire fucking... I'm fine.
I just want to, like...
I just want to kill myself when she talks.
That if you hold a bird, it will... It's like, oh my god, just say what you're saying.
Honestly, sometimes I lose track of what she's talking about. I legitimately will trail off, and I'm not, like... I'm not super easily distracted, but, like... I like, leave my body when she's talking. I can't deal with it.
It's just so painful. Next in this category of honorable mentions of bad is Ransom of the Seven Ships. Because while... The thing is that Ransom of the Seven Ships doesn't have, like, any characters. So we get Lonnie doing the voice of Cuckoo. We get George, we get Bess. They're all okay. Mm-hmm. But Dwayne's Jamaican accent is so fucking racist.
It's bad.
It's so bad.
Like...
And then the Australian one after that's just bad.
Yeah, that's
the Jamaican one. The Jamaican one is just so...
Yeah, I mean, it's Jamaican me crazy.
Yes, Mr. Blackface.
Yeah, Mr.
Just
Blackface.
Fucking awful. So, that's why that goes in this honorable mention. Mm-hmm. And then our last honorable mention is Curse of Blackmore Manor.
We gotta call out the bad accents, you guys. We have to.
It's so bad.
Because, like...
And I'm not gonna lie, they're also just badly acted.
They are.
They're Jane.
Like,
I like Mrs. Drake.
Mrs. Drake is good. I enjoy her.
But it's a bad accent.
Ethel is weird and disjointed. Jane is clearly a grown woman.
Pretending to be a child, yeah.
And like, let's not even talk about cartoon Englishman there. I lost his name.
Nigel,
thank you.
Oh, Nigel.
He is a cartoon Englishman.
I'm going to say that Secrets Can Kill wasn't on the list because the voices just aren't memorable. They just don't... Yeah, they're not memorable enough. I don't remember what the original people sounded like. No idea.
I want to say that, like, football guy, what's his name? Moose? I don't know.
Hulk?
Yeah,
Hulk.
Sure, that's it. Like, I don't know. Football dude. Yeah. He had, like a...
Moose.
Like a cool look. He had a moose quality to him.
What is Moose from?
Moose is from Archie comics.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm referring to Moose as like Archie comics, by the way, not Archie Riverdale, because we're not.
I don't know anything about Riverdale, and I am super happy to just stay that way. I refuse to learn anything about that show. There is something to do with a serial killer gene, and I am just, nope. I'm gone. I'll never know the highs and lows of high school football.
There is no football in this fucking show. I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
I'm literally, there's a quote that I've seen in a GIF where someone is saying, you'll never know the highs and lows of high school football. And you know what? It's true. I won't. Didn't go to high school.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, that is our best and worst games for voice acting, I guess is the way to put it. If you would like to tell us what you think, then please, on our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and our fancy website, krolmeistersisters.knifefightclub.com.
You can also find us on Google Podcast and Apple Podcast and Spotify. And you can let us know what you like that we do in reviews. And you can tell people to listen to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can support us on Twitch. to get access, I mean, you can subscribe. That's what it's called on Twitch, is subscribing. To get access to our cute little wine glass emote, as well as podcast night VODs. Or you can support us on Patreon to get access to stream cat pictures, which I am behind on. I apologize. As well as podcast night VODs, and you can tell us what to talk about, like this episode, which was suggested. I didn't say that we never said that, did we? Because I forgot. This episode was suggested to us by Melted Joan Cusack on Patreon. So if you join our Patreon, you can also do that.
Yes.
Or you can also suggest topics on our Discord.
Yeah.
Which is like,
we're always
I don't have to do what you say, but there's an entire channel for suggestions. But if you don't pay us, we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So, I'm Marisa.
Oh, and I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. And we're asking you guys to stay sleuthy.